In today's video, we're diving into part 5 of our top 10 underrated action movies you can't miss. These are the hidden gems that didn't get the spotlight they deserve, but deliver on thrills, intensity, and unforgettable moments. If you're craving something fresh and action-packed, you're in for a treat.
Because I'm gonna start hunting, and when I find you, I'm gonna kill you all.
Jack Reacher, Never Go Back follows Reacher as he learns that Major Susan Turner has been wrongfully imprisoned. Determined to clear her name, he breaks her out of custody, and together, they uncover a dangerous government conspiracy. Along the way, Reacher also confronts the possibility that he may have a teenage daughter. While the film delivers plenty of action, it lacks the sharpness and originality of its predecessor. The storyline feels repetitive, the antagonists are unmemorable, and despite Tom Cruise's committed performance, the film fails to leave a lasting impact.
You're a dead man.
Critics were largely unimpressed. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 37%, and reviews widely considered it a downgrade from the original. Its poor box office performance effectively ended plans for a sequel, until Amazon later rebooted the franchise with a new series starring Alan Ritchson.
You Bob done? Okay, on 3. 1.
The Hitman's Bodyguard is loud, violent, and completely carried by Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. Reynolds plays a top-tier bodyguard stuck protecting Jackson's hitman character, a guy who's tried to kill him more than once. So yeah, you know it's going to be a mess in the best way. The plot? Pretty basic. They bicker, shoot their way across Europe, and somehow end up bonding. The action's solid, but nothing new. What really works is watching Reynolds and Jackson go off on each other with non-stop trash talk. Salma Hayek shows up and pretty much steals every scene as Jackson's just as crazy wife. Gary Oldman's here too, but he's mostly sleepwalking through another generic villain role. The movie leans hard into R-rated chaos and delivers exactly what it promises. No more, no less.
Put trust in me, is how you're gonna survive. Good luck.
Sicario, Day of the Soldado, doesn't have the depth or visual style of Denis Villeneuve's original, but it hits hard in its own way. This time, the US government labels Mexican cartels as terrorist groups, and that gives CIA operative Matt Graver, played by Josh Brolin, a green light to stir things up. He brings back Alejandro, the mysterious hitman, played by Benicio del Toro, to kick off a war between the cartels. Their plan? Kidnap a drug lord's daughter. But like you'd expect, things go sideways fast when the government suddenly changes its mind.
You're gonna help us start a war.
With who?
Director Stefano Sollima brings the action, but he can't recreate the atmosphere or visuals of the first film. The story leans heavy on violence and border politics, but doesn't say much. Still, Del Toro carries the film. His performance is cold, intense, and tough to look away from.
Lätt att skaffa.
Riders of Justice isn't easy to pin down, and that's exactly what makes it work. It's part revenge thriller, part dark comedy, and somehow still manages to hit you with real emotional depth. Mads Mikkelsen plays Marcus, a soldier who comes home after his wife dies in a train accident. But when a math nerd played by Nikolai Liko suggests it wasn't an accident at all, Marcus sets out to uncover the truth and take revenge. He teams up with a crew of oddball outsiders, and while the violence is brutal, the story never loses sight of the real pain underneath. It's not just about revenge, it's about grief, fatherhood, and trying to hold it together when everything's falling apart. The film's got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, and for good reason. Critics praised its mix of action and heart, and Mikkelsen is at his best, quiet, intense, and carrying way more than he lets on.
Yeah, no one follows us, or I kill myself and then her.
Night and Day, directed by James Mangold, is a wild mix of action and comedy, with Tom Cruise teaming up with Cameron Diaz. The story: he's a secret agent, she gets caught in the chaos, and next thing you know, they're dodging bullets, crashing planes, and getting chased by bulls. It's over the top and doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's the point.
It's a beautiful dress! Let's check it!
Mangold, usually known for more serious films like Walk the Line and 3:10 to Yuma, goes full popcorn mode here. The plot's all over the place, sure, but Cruise and Diaz have solid chemistry, and the non-stop action keeps things moving. If you're looking for a fun, fast ride and don't mind some ridiculous twists, this one does the trick.
imagining this.
Surviving is a choice.
I want to let me out of here now.
Escape Room takes a popular party game and turns it into a fight for survival. 6 strangers get invited to what they think is a fun escape room challenge with a $10,000 prize. But once they're inside, it's clear these rooms are deadly, and each one is somehow tied to their past trauma. Directed by Adam Robitel, the movie delivers some pretty creative death traps, like a room where the floor flips upside down or a frozen lake puzzle. Even with a PG-13 rating, the tension stays high. Critics were split. Variety called it a solid throwback to 90s thrillers. Others wrote it off as a watered-down Saw copy.
They're watching us. They know every move that we're making.
They knew everything about us.
The cast, but including Taylor Russell and Logan Miller, does a decent job, even if the story itself sticks to a familiar formula. It's not deep, and the ending clearly sets up a sequel, but if you're in the mood for a fast-paced thriller with cool set pieces, Escape Room gets the job done. Red Notice is one of Netflix's most expensive productions ever, costing around $200 million, and yeah, it shows. You've got Dwayne Johnson as an FBI agent chasing Ryan Reynolds, one who plays an art thief. But before you know it, both of them get outplayed by Gal Gadot, who's after the same prize: 3 ancient golden eggs tied to Cleopatra. It's a big, flashy, globe-trotting action comedy that looks like it was built by Netflix's algorithm, and maybe it was. Reynolds cracks jokes, The Rock plays it straight, and Gadot struts through every scene like it's a fashion shoot. The action's fine, the sets are beautiful, but there's nothing new here. It's more about big names and shiny scenes than telling a great story. Still, if you just want to kick back and watch something easy, Red Notice gets the job done. Fall is exactly what it sounds like, a survival thriller that messes with your head and makes your palms sweat. 2 best friends, Becky and Hunter, decide to climb a 2,000-foot TV tower in the middle of the California desert. Sounds insane already, right? But then things go south fast when part of the ladder breaks and they get stuck at the top. No way down, no help coming. Director Scott Mann keeps it simple, and that's what makes it work.
The water is down there in that bag.
We have 50 feet of rope. I think I could drop myself lower.
It's just 2 people stuck in a terrifying spot, and every second feels like a bad idea getting worse. Critics actually liked it, 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, and for good reason. The tension is real, the visuals are sharp, and it was shot in IMAX, which makes the height feel even more brutal.
Go on.
Antoine Fuqua and Denzel Washington team up one last time for the final chapter in their Vigilante series. The Equalizer 3 doesn't reinvent anything. It just gives fans more of what they came for. This time, Robert McCall ends up in a quiet Italian town after a mission goes sideways. But peace doesn't last long. The local mafia moves in, and McCall does what he does best, takes them out one brutal move at a time.
You seem like a man who understands violence.
The story's predictable, sure, but the action is tight, the setting is beautiful, and Denzel brings that quiet intensity only he can. It's familiar, it's bloody, and if you've followed the series this far, it delivers just enough to feel like a solid send-off. Beekeeper is exactly what it sounds like. Jason Statham going full throttle, taking out bad guys with 0 patience and a lot of firepower. He plays a former operative from a secret group called the Beekeepers. When his elderly neighbor gets scammed out of her savings, he snaps, and what starts as payback turns into a full-on war, from shady call centers to government-level corruption.
We have to kill him before he kills his way to the top.
Statham does what he does best: cold stares, brutal takedowns, and those dry one-liners fans love. It's loud, ridiculous, and doesn't try to be anything more than a straight-up revenge flick. And honestly, that's what makes it fun.